Thank you so much for speaking with me. This
Thank you.
show is beyond exciting, and your character I admire, yet I'm terrified. I want to see more, but I'm scared of what he will do.
Uh,
So that's the layers. See, that's the layers that you bring as an actor to this. So this
Thank you.
right off the bat, I wanted to know, like, as someone who took Meech under his wing, was what was the goal? Was the goal to be a mentor? Was it loyalty? What was the meaning behind that?
Yeah, so K9 took Meech under his wing to be definitely a mentor. So he sees something in Meech, kind of how he grew up. So he's like, you
Mhm.
know what? Let me take on this young man and kind of teach him the ropes, and try to test him in certain cases to see if he's worthy to be under
Mhm.
K9's wing. And that's what you see throughout the season. That Meech learns a little thing or two about what he learns from K9.
Is the goal for Meech to be better than K9, or is it to fear him?
I think the goal for me is to definitely be the top dog, to be
Mhm.
above everybody. So I can kind of mix it into, like, as an actor, right? When we take tools from different coaches to
Mhm.
make our own toolbox and get to the top. So that's like how Meech is doing, where he took something from Pat, right? Take something from K9. So as his quest to be who we know who BMF was, that's what you would see Meech do in the early stages of his Detroit upbringings.
Okay, so I really want to know, how did you prepare for this role that's differently than what we saw in season one? Because you're fully expanded now.
Yeah, yeah, different one, different, way different. Season one, I didn't feel I needed to do much preparation for it. For
Mhm.
that scene, I feel this season, being that it's you severely expanded, I definitely dug in a little deeper. Where I got together with my coach Sheik, and we started doing a lot of research, looking up the Colombians. YBI out in Detroit was the one of the biggest families in Detroit. And listening to DMX every day, that was my go-to. And his songs put me in the mood. Whatever DMX lyrics he was saying, this is exactly how K9 was living his life.
Now we do know that Lawrence Dog Newell is a real person that is based on the character. Are you the kind of actor who has to speak to the person that you're depicting, or do you want to find that character within yourself on your own?
Oh, I definitely would love to always find out if it's a character that I'm playing. I would always want to find out from them and listen to them and try to get what I can get to be able to portray them the best way that I can.
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate enough to get, before I started filming, get some information from one of the executive producer, Heather. She was able to give me some information on Dog. So I got that. And when I was the work that I was putting in before my coach, it kind of went together, meshed together with what Dog was about, which helped.
Mm-hmm.
And then halfway through filming, I was fortunate enough to meet pretty much his whole family. They came to see me in Detroit. We had long, intense conversations, and they approved of me playing a role. And yeah, I get texts and calls from them, and they're happy to see me playing the role. And they was like, "This is." Even his friends would message me on IG and be like, "Man, that's how Doug was. You playing it to a T." So I appreciate that.
No, we do know that you talked previously that it was YBI, and also we know that musicians and rap music has come into play when it came to the formation of the character. What was it about what was it about those people that you really wanted to draw certain characteristics out in order to create K9?
I think with YBI, I was just trying to figure out, because they were pretty much. I want to pretty much find out how gully, or how grimy the Brewster Projects was. So to get that area to see how that thug life is. I grew up in Brooklyn, so I know how that thug life is, but I wanted to be true to the essence of Detroit. So I definitely want to find that. And just things like, what DMX would say, something like rob and steal. This is literally what Dog was doing. So this is
Mm-hmm.
how it put me right into that character. What else? Here we go again. So for example, when Meech in episode 3 when he goes out and he didn't do the job that he needed to get done. Goes back to the DMX song. Here we go again. You know, just not able to do the task at hand. So I figured these lyrics was going hand in hand, and learning from the likes of YBI or just other gangs on YouTube that I saw, I was able to kind of put those together for a feel of what Detroit was about, Detroit gang life.
Okay. Now, what's really interesting is that in season 2, episode 3, K9 says the rules aren't for everybody. They are not the same for everyone.
Right.
And so I wanted to know, is that a motto that he has solely for the streets, or once you become family, it's different?
That's a really good question. I think the rules, everyone has a different rules. It's for the streets. For the streets, I think. Yeah, I think everyone, yeah. I think that one is for the streets. I mean, you can utilize it for family as well. But I think when he told him at that essence, it was a kind of a street term, you know. So we're in this place. K9 is in this place, and this guy is here handling business that would help my business, right? Because somebody's cheating in my home, my space. So he's looking out for me, in which he can handle the business the way he wanted to handle it at that time. Normally, K9 will handle his own business, but at that time we had Sterling Black handle it. So yeah, so the rules changed a little bit for certain people.
Now, I really wanted to get into some of the characters and interactions with the show. B-Mickie is a mess. Every problem that exists seems to have B-Mickie's fingerprints on it. Will, I know you can't say spoilers, is K9 aware of how much of a mess B-Mickie is? And is he always putting that in the back of his mind?
I think K9 doesn't at this time have any idea of B-Mickie. I think he's just focused on Meech. And I think you can see that he you know, because K9 is smart, so he'll watch and know maybe what B-Mickie could be, you know, being that he came to K9 with Travis Dead. So you already messed up the So now this is my first time, or K9's first time seeing B-Mickie. So now he's like, okay, so I sent you on that in episode 1. I sent you on this trip, and you made that decision not to go to the drug dogs and you go to the bus. But then this next mission I send you on, you bring this guy and you mess up. So what's it the company that you keep? You see, so now I can kind of be aware of, okay, let me put 2 and 2 together. So that you was able to do this mission, but now that you're here with this dude, you weren't able to do the mission. So you got to watch the company you keep.
Okay,
so
how many
right now in episode well, that way in episode 5, but that's the point we are in the series right now.
How many times does a person have to screw up to just get blatantly shot in the head?
Well, I think as you can see that K9 is no bull, you know, so it's just gonna be how he feels, you know. It's up and down. He can be this minute, he can be smiling in your face, and if it's one instant he feel you disrespected, he might off you. Because remember in the scene with Cena, right?
Right.
He almost probably killed Cena right then and there. He said, I need you to get on my face before I go off. So that was his warning. Some people get a warning, some people don't. And he has history with Cena. What you didn't see with what happened with Cena is that Cena, K9 saved Cena because Cena used to be on drugs. So K9 saved him. That's why he said, I saved your life and you come in here disrespecting me. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. So K9 owes Cena money at this point, you know, episode 1. And this is why they have that beef. So we didn't go into detail in the story, but that's really what happened right then and there with Cena. So he gave him his chance because Cena is his connect. So he gave him that chance. And at that time, he gave him that one reason. I don't care who you are. I'm gonna need you to get up on my face at this time. So
what is more? Oh, sorry. So sorry.
You're good.
Oh, I wanted to know, what is more important to K9? Is it respect of me as a person or respect on the streets?
I definitely think it's him as a person. Definitely respect him as a person. You got to respect the streets as well, but first and foremost, you got to respect K9, and then you got to respect the streets as well.
Okay. Can you Can you tease any interactions that may be in the coming episodes?
Can I tease? Oh, no spoilers, no teasers right
No
now.
spoil. Well, but
You'll see
you
it
know
though.
what?
You'll see some
You
stuff
know.
come out soon. We got what? We got another week and a half. You'll see some
Mhm.
stuff come out soon.
We gotta ask the Lamar question. I'm sure you've been asked 15,000 times. So 15,001. What would happen if Lamar and K9 came together? Do you see a pure bloodbath, or do you see some type of alliance where it completely throws us?
Well, I think the thing about K9, he's about loyalty, right? Loyalty and respect.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe if Lamar he meets Lamar, as long as Lamar got he got a good business proposition, maybe they can work. Lamar messes up the money, just like he told me. You mess with my money, I'm gonna kill you. So that's how it is. As long as Lamar, his money's correct and he comes to K9 with the right deal, they can work together. Just don't mess with his money. That's the one thing people gotta understand is K9 is about his money. Don't mess
Mm-hmm.
with his money. And you'll see that. You'll see as the season goes, he's really about that money. The money is something, money's the root of all evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
So
just keep that in the back of your mind.
will he ever kind of disregard his own rules for that money? Will it be that blinding? Or could it be?
That's a good question. I think I believe he'll do anything for the money. I think so. He still has that loyalty and he has that respect, but sometimes the money could blind you. And every time the money for him is literally everything. Literally everything. In real life, Lawrence, you speak to his sons, the money was yeah.
Oh.
If he was down on money, you got a problem. If he was up on money, you might have a problem too.
So it seems that Meech and Terry are a package deal, but yet you deal exclusively kind of with Meech. Will we see any interactions or dealings with Terry?
Interaction dealing with Terry. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Meech right now is his go-to guy. We'll see if
Okay.
Terry. Remember now, Terry's back in the business, so we'll
Mhm.
see if they come back to the Detroit and they come back and see K9, then there might be some business there. They still, as long as the money's right, K9 is always up to do some business with them. As you can see right now in episode 5, he's under investigation. So let's see what happens next.
I was wondering, you personally, when you got this character, do you automatically view him as a villain, or is he more of a mentor who's there to help?
I view him as a mentor that's there to help. If this is a word, villainish things. But yeah, he's more of a mentor, and he just goes about his business a different way. Just like when you saw Pat, he goes about his business a different way. You see K9 goes about his business a different way. Boom, and also Meech, right? Meech goes about his business a different way. So you can see all 4 of these guys are bosses, and everybody has a different way about going about business. So he is a mentor this season, and he do some evil things throughout that. But yeah.
Okay, so there were some scenes that was amazing in terms of how ruthless he could be. We had Big L getting his lips kind of cut off, which I love why he was
Her
called Big
lips,
L.
her lips,
Her lips cut off. We had the basketball coach saying, is he someone who is methodic in what he does, or would you say there is an underlying temper and that causes him to react not irrationally, but very sudden?
I think it's definitely a temper thing. I believe. Yeah, I think. Well, you can say methodical as well, but I think both actually. The temper and methodical. I think both ways. That he is. You just don't know. You just don't know what to expect from because he goes from he sends Big L over to meet Meech and connect with him. So now he likes Big Meech, and once Big L says something smart, oh, you're off. Let me kill you. You just mess with somebody who I'm about to groom. So I believe it's both methodical and temperamental.
Okay, now you are a method actor, and so
Yes.
I was wondering what the process is and how do you get out of that character? Because that I know the Meisner technique is very intensive.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been very tough to get. I think with myself, I believe being that I was you would see me having fun, laughing, doing this, that, and the third off camera and then on camera, I'm really zoned in. I think that helped. I think some people, when they're on set, sometimes that method's throughout the whole time filming. I mean, you may not
Mhm.
even be able to have a conversation with them. I remember when I was listening to Will Smith on his what was his latest movie? I forget the name of it right now.
Emancipation?
Right? So he said
Mhm.
Ben Foster didn't speak to him the whole time filming. Once he was done,
Okay.
he said, "Hi, my name is Ben Foster." I think that when that comes to that, those to me those characters might be harder to get out of once filming is done. But I think being that I was able to kind of play both sides of the fence, it was easier for me to get out of the character once I was done because I just went back to my routine. I know when I initially was doing it for the first couple months, I was probably really, really too into it, and to where one of my friends was like, I think you need to dial back a little bit. I think you need to go back to your routine," and that might have helped, right? Because if
Mhm.
I was so dialed in, who knows how long would it took for me to get out? Because I've had instances where you saw K9 outside of filming. Like if I'm at
Mm.
a party or something like that, then yeah, you saw him come out. But once I was done filming, yeah, I was like, all right, I'm good. Let me go back to playing NBA 2K, listening to my reggae, and hanging out with friends and stuff. So I was also like, I'm a big Laker fan, and I was in a
Mhm.
chat with 18 of us, about 18 of us, and I would talk Lakers very intense. I had delete myself out that conversation for that whole time I was filming until I was done. So I got back in that conversation, started watching Lakers again. So these things I went back to the normalcy that I normally do on a daily basis, and that helped me get out of character.
Okay. Now there are a lot of rules that K9 does have. We know he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't really party. And so, what other rules have you made up? Any other rules for him that we may not see on screen?
Oh, that's a good question. I love your questions.
Thank
I
you.
love other rules that he's made up while he's not on screen. I don't believe so. I think everything was I think you guys seen everything, you know, you all the cards were shown, I believe, for K9. You was able to see everything. You was even able to see his mentality when it came to Peaches getting caught, right?
Hmm.
And then he just I wanted to kill this person myself. You know what I mean? And you didn't bring him back. You're not getting this money. So I believe I think you've seen all of K9's cards. I don't think there's any rules that, and you'll see more as the season goes. You'll
Hmm.
see everything was pretty much laid out. So I think so far, what you've seen of K9 for these first 5 episodes, all the cards are pretty much laid out. There's nothing that's held back.
Now, aside from a storyline of your own, was there a storyline that really grabbed your attention that you was like, oh, I wish K9 could have been in that scene?
You mean watching the storyline with
Yes.
me not in it on it?
Any other the other storylines?
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I definitely can see. I wish K9 was in certain aspects of it. Of course, you want to be as much screen time as you want.
Right.
I know most of my screen time wasn't episode one. I was like, so I'm watching it with my friends. I'm like, man, I wish I saw more K9. But yeah, definitely. I think from what you guys seen so far, yes,
Mhm.
I believe it would have been cool to see K9 in some of these storylines for sure.
Now you
It ain't
said,
over
well,
yet, so you never know.
we never know. Kanon has said that he sees Meech kind of in himself, which is why he's helping him.
Yeah.
Is there, and you're giving him advice as much as
Mhm.
you can. If you could give him advice in for the what's upcoming, what would you say?
What's coming next?
Yes.
I would say here's one thing I would say. And we're at episode 5, I would
Mhm.
say if K9 found out about Lamar and his history, I'd have said, well,
Mhm.
why didn't you finish the job? You know, why is he still alive? That would
Mm.
be the conversation we would have. Why is he still alive? That would be one of the advices. I'll be like, why is he not taken care of? You got to make sure the job is done. Now you can see what happened with Big L and
Mhm.
Coach Wink and
Mhm.
the guy from, we call him Cinderella, right? If they
Mhm.
violate, you demonstrate. So he violated this many times. Why is he not put away? That would be the conversation we would have currently.
K9 seems to operate without fear. I mean, he does things right in the public that would other people would be like, "Oh no, I should not do that." What does he fear?
He fears not having money. That would probably be the only fear he
That's
has,
the only thing.
to lose his
Okay.
money. That'll be the only fear he has. I don't feel he fears about the consequences, as we can see.
Mhm.
He'll
Mhm.
shoot people in
Mhm.
broad daylight. And you'll see upcoming, really, literally, that's really what it is. If it's money and he lose money, that would probably be his only fear, to not have money. That's it. Because you got to think about where he came from. He came from not having money. So he built everything. And you know, if
Mhm.
you build this wall and the wall gets broken down, you know, you're lost. And I believe that will be his only fear, is to lose everything that he has.
Can you
And
say
that's
who
the
he
money.
is without it?
Say it again.
Can you say who he is without money?
Can you say who K9 is without money?
Mhm.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think he would still have, I think he would still be a leader because of his mindset. You know, I think because of his mindset and his leadership, he you can see that he was always gonna have money. It's the
Mhm.
way he was able to lead, it's the way he goes about the game and learning the game. And this is why he sees it in Meech, right? Meech
Mhm.
is trying to get to his level. He sees the steps that Meech is trying to do. And even though Meech didn't bring back Travis alive, he brought him back dead. So he still kind of took care of him. So he kind of demonstrated, right? I don't know how K9 doesn't know how he got killed, but he kind of demonstrated, right? So yeah, that's how I would think K9 would be. If without money, he'll still be a leader. I think he'll still be able to have the respect amongst people, because he's willing to do what he got to do if you disrespect him. So that's somebody you don't want to cross.
Do you think his loyalty to Meech could have blind spots to how Meech moves?
Mm. I think so. Yeah, I think he trusts Meech. So then again, no, because he sees Meech in him so much that he can probably know every move that Meech is gonna do. I believe
Mhm.
so. I believe K9 knows literally every move that Meech is gonna do. And actually, now when you come to think about it, K9 might have knew that he wasn't gonna bring home Travis, but you didn't figure it out. That's
Mhm.
the problem. I knew you wouldn't be able to bring him back. He's bigger than you. He probably had a gun in the house. I knew you wasn't gonna bring him back alive, but you should have figured it out like you did with the dogs. He didn't figure it out.
Hmm. So the goal is to make him smarter, you would say.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. To make him think outside the box,
Mhm.
right? No pun intended, right? With Big L
Right.
what's in the box.
Um, so I was wondering, with K9 being a mentor, can you say who mentored K9?
I believe K9, originally I didn't find that out through uh Lawrence path of who mentored him. I think he learned from the streets, learned from watching what was going on, people around him. In real life, his parents was on drugs. Um, so I think coming up in the streets, I believe he just learned from watching everything that was around him and watching how people moved. I think he ended up figuring out how to live this lifestyle that he has.
Can you say what his best and worst qualities are going forward?
His best quality. His best quality is making sure people are all having a good time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Worst quality is you just don't know what's you just don't know what he's gonna do next. Like when it comes to just somebody just do something like, all right, I'll give you for example, right? When the dude flipped the cards over and thrown to him, normally that's something that K9 would have handled. So that dude was so scared, not really scared of Sterling, of what K9 would do because you just don't know. Just any little mistake, you just don't know what K9 would do, if K9 would just pop him or not. And that's just his worst quality, is that his temper. I think that's his worst quality. But I think, when you look at it as well, is that he's very family oriented. So the reason why he doesn't go out to club, he like to bring everything to him because he feels if he goes out to clubs, then he's going to deal with haters, right? So if he brings everybody to him, everybody's having a good time, he's able to control it. So at the same time, I believe K9 is also controlling.
Okay. It seems to me that so far we have maybe impulsive, insecure, and lonely.
Insecure and lonely?
And will he always has to be, the party always has to come to him.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's a lack of that. He always wants to go, he always wants to party, but he never partakes in the party. He wants to please others as opposed to building that, I don't want to say in that authentic connection, but it seems like he's more of a people pleaser, but yet at the same time there's that duality of I still want authority over you. I still want you to fear me, but I also want you to love me.
Right.
And so that can play into his impulsive nature.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that. Okay.
Maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because he does, invite everybody over to have fun, to make money in his establishment, and he's able to control the environment, right? Because you can't bring weapons in it. Sterling brought a weapon
Well,
in, but
some people,
not necessarily, right? Some people, right? Rules is rules. Certain people have certain rules. So you might be right. Impulsive and wow, lonely. That's interesting. That's interesting. I like that. I like that.
Would you, as someone who read the script, not spoilers or anything, but off the top of your head, do you think that his nature will not allow him to survive to season 3?
I think his nature. I think if you really think about it, I think most people in it you wouldn't think would come back. Well, it's a show, right? So they enhance the show. We got to think also about the real life characters. I think most of the people in it, myself, the way Lamar works, the way Meech works, you can lose your life any day in the streets. So technically you wouldn't think anybody would come back, right? If the story, if they run the streets the way we run the streets. Yeah, so you would think that the way, and I'm from the streets, so I know you would think the way that they live their life that they won't come back, but you never know, right? Pins live for a long time. Always able to come back from death.
So kind of lastly, I wanted to talk about first come love, then comes murder with your character. Yep. Can you kind of explain your character?
Yeah, so my character is a guy who spent time in prison, and he's working at a second chance program and trying to get his stuff together, and he's trying to get custody of his daughter. And what happens is the guy at work is going through it with his wife, and he hires me to kill her. And he's blackmailing me so I won't be able to get a hold of my daughter. And so he hires me to kill his wife. And it comes to find out that my character has a conscience because his wife is also pregnant. So he has to decide, is he going to do this? How important is killing two lives, one being a kid who's unborn, or getting his daughter back. So that's the thought process that has to go through my character Doug.
Very
So
nice.
it's a nice thriller. It's gonna be fun. That should be coming out shortly after BMF.
Okay, I'll look forward to that. And thank you so much for speaking to me. I know we can't
Oh,
dive into future
thank
spoilers,
you,
but
thank you, thank you for them questions. I was like, you had me on my toes. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't get these questions asked yet. I love it. I love it. I love
no problem. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to speak to you. Please live.
it. You
Season
too.
season 5. We still see you.
There we go. There we go. Thank you so much for watching the show, and I hope looking forward to speaking to you after the season is done. Then we can be like, oh, okay, I see what K9's about.
It was hard. I've seen the season, so I'm like, let me
Yes.
just stay on point.
Stay on point, right? Thank you so much.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a great day.